table it for the next meeting, or defer it to the next meeting. But this resolution is important, and particularly that we need people that are savvy in Tallahassee and have been working with us already.
If you allow me to interrupt you for 1 second,
sure.
Through the chair, please. I think there was a copy of that resolution.
Yeah.
There's a copy of your resolution that was passed out, and well, yeah. So there's a copy of the resolution that was passed out
this morning
in preparation for the motion that you are attempting to make.
Right.
Now, in regard to the motion that you had, I had a conversation with our manager. So I didn't speak to you about it, so you have no way of knowing that. That would be a violation of the sunshine law.
Yeah, you couldn't speak to me about it.
So so I had a conversation with our city manager. I do not know if that city manager had an opportunity to really talk to you about it.
No.
And so I would suggest, and maybe if, no, yeah, I would suggest that you have a conversation with the manager or his designee, whoever it is, and determine whether or not you would need to have this motion move forward. So if we could, Mr. Chairman, we could have a 5-minute break to allow you to talk.
Let me just say this on the record for a second before we do that. I believe very strongly this is how it was before when I was around. In the last few years is when I hear it changed. This falls right in this commission. It is the responsibility of this commission and the right of this commission to be the ones that name whom our lobbyists are going to be in Tallahassee. And I was appalled when I tried to call up our lobbyists to find out about certain laws so we could move them forward in Tallahassee, and they told me they didn't work for us anymore. At no time did the manager get a hold of me. I asked my office any memos that were sent or anything, that these people were dismissed. And furthermore, I do not like the idea of choosing whether it is a lobbyist or other groups like this without putting it out for what we usually call a request for proposal. In this case, it would probably be an RFLI. We need to do that. You know, we keep talking about transparency. Well, what transparency is there that individuals are taken out, commissioners don't even know about it, and nothing is put out so that everybody can have a shot at it, and then for this commission to decide which are the ones that we think are best qualified.
So, and this is part, speaking of transparency, this is why I have an issue with some pocket items. Right now, the world of the public have no idea what we are talking about because we are the only ones who have just received this today. And this has to do with our lobbying teams and whose responsibility it is to choose them. I would just like clarification from the administration or the city attorney's office under our code and charter whose responsibility it is to select and hire our lobbying.
The manager has the authority to hire, based on our code, has the authority to hire the team, and that's what he did. However,
is it because is it the spending?
The amount, yeah.
Right. So make that statement, please, because that's the part that
if above the cap, it would have to come to us.
Exactly. So what happens is, and I want to make this very clear, that there are expenditures that the city manager is allowed to make within his purview without asking for permission from this board.
Correct.
And the managers, not only this manager, but all managers before, have exercised that authority. And so, as I understand, regarding these sorts of issues, there are a number of different firms that are eligible, of course, and the spending amount was well below the cap for each of those firms. And so, part of the discussion that I had with the city manager is regarding just that, and whether or not other people can be added that meet the guidelines, the law, the legal permission that he has to use and exercise. And so, you know, that was part of what my discussion with him was.
And I understand that, and Madam City Attorney, I agree with you. This is not a question of whether the manager has the procurement right, because the way it was broken up, is, no more than 25,000. That's not an issue. The issue, and I don't think you answered that, does this commission have a right, like I see in most cities, like it was before, to be the one that decide who do we want
Absolutely.
to
Yes.
be
Right.
our
Right.
lobbyists?
Mr.
It
Manager.
is very important,
Of
and it's
course.
very
Mr.
important
Manager.
for us to pick the right person.
So
It's
Mr.
very
Manager.
important.
if I may, thank you, sir. The law firm that, or the lobbyists that you're talking about, Commissioner Carrera, they were not fired. Their contract expired and we did not continue that contract.
Emilio,
Now,
in essence,
if I may-
that is a firing.
If I may, sir, I have spoken with them. We have some changing dynamics at the state level. We have changing dynamics at the federal level. Nobody is guaranteed or entitled to represent the city by
That's
right.
right. I agree.
So I made a decision that I would move in a by the way, we used to have 3 lobbying firms, now we only have 2, and hire a firm that has decades of expertise, that has an ability to, I believe, deliver for us in what are gonna be turbulent times across the state. And I did it within my ability to, or the amount of money that we could spend. Now, to Commissioner Hardeman's point, what I don't want to do, because I think it would be detrimental to the city of Miami and everything that we need from our state, is to fire a firm right now. But if it is your wish, I will be happy to accommodate this firm, Becker Poliakoff. I will hire them as a 3rd firm, and then we'll give them something to do next year. What I will gladly do is put out an RFQ. We could have 7 or 8 firms, and then it could be represented to this body, and this body could pick 1, 2, or 3 firms to represent the city of Miami. But I genuinely believe that to tell the people that we have engaged now to stop what you're doing will be detrimental to the interests of the city.
I agree.
I have to agree
Please.
with you. I was in
Please,
Tallahassee.
please, gentlemen, through the chair,
Through the chair,
please.
through the chair.
Mr. Manager,
Yes, sir.
so you're open to bringing on a 3rd. You don't need additional funding approval from us to do so, because you can give them a separate assignment
I can probably find money
within
in my account
within that.
somewhere. Yes, sir.
Is that a sufficient compromise?
It's, what it is, it's a request for, RFLI, what, request for letters of interest that we need to put out.
And sir, we'd be happy to do that, but I would rather not do it now where
We're in the
we've
middle of
already
session.
started session.
Okay, how long ago did you hire this firm?
I wanna say, maybe December or
Let's
so,
see.
January?
Emilio,
No, maybe
look,
December.
I'm willing to go with a compromise now.
Yeah.
As long as the minute that this session is over, the very minute that it's over, the next day, we put a request for letters of interest. And, we are the ones who are elected by the public. If you want to be elected, you gotta run. We are the ones, and you look at this throughout commissions, councils, around wherever you want to look, that's how it's done. It's the elected body that hires their lobbyists. But I don't want to do it either based upon, I like this guy or that guy. I want to do it to an open process that everybody could put in, what their qualifications is, what they could do for us, show us what they've accomplished.
Sir, I'm not questioning your legitimacy. What I'm saying is I have followed standing practice from previous city managers.
And I'm
This
not-
is how they conducted business,
I'm
and
not
I
denying
followed suit.
that. I stated that before, that since I've been gone, in the last few years, that has been happening. But what I also stated was that at no time, my God, did you come to any of us that I know of, certainly not my office, speak to us about it, send us any information on it? And that's the problem that I'm having. Okay, so, that's a compromise, because, look, Becker Polio, let me be clear. While I know some people there, you probably know more people there than I do. They certainly, if anybody has any questions, were not friendly towards me. They had other people that they liked much more than me. So this is not a question that I'm trying to get somebody in there that's friendly towards me.
Sir, it's a very professional firm.
It is, it
To your,
is.
to your point, I know people there from the chairman on down. I have spoken to them. There may be an opportunity before this conversation to bring them back. But again, I had to make a business decision based on a firm that I thought that could deliver the most for the residents of
But
Miami.
it was
And
a-
I accept your compromise, sir. As I mentioned,
Okay.
I'm happy to do
But-
an RFI.
But that's fine, but I want to put in the record that it was a business decision that should have been up to this commission, and that's just up to you. And I want to establish that because I'm seeing too many business decisions, too many other decisions that are being made by you without the knowledge of this commission, or that they should go through us first, or at least each of us should be consulted.
If it
Or
is.
at least advised.
Sir, if it's the will of this commission, we will gladly change our procedures to accommodate more firms. We'll do an RFI at that point. But again, my point here is that I don't believe, first of all, thank you for your compromise, and I don't believe that firing anybody at this point will be productive.
Commissioner Reyes.
Through the chair. This is not about Polycarp or whoever. This is is about that before. As a matter of fact, we are the elected officials. We know the people that are more influenced in Tallahassee and other places than you. Okay? At least give us the courtesy of saying, listen, I want to change this a lobbying firm because this is what I feel like or what I think it is better. But we never have I've never received the courtesy of any decision that is made here. I learn about them after the fact. Not that I can direct you to hire somebody if it is $25,000, that you don't have to come through the commission, but at least use us, you see, and as a sounding board or whatever, or as advisor. But you never do that, Emilio. You never do that. I mean, what I have seen, every single project that has been brought to us, starting with the park, the build, everything. It is yes, the park.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. But
Now,
has
we're
been,
getting into
it's
DI2,
been after
which
the
I'd like
fact.
to table. Is there a date you'd like to bring DI2, Commissioner Carollo?
Next, commissioner.
So
But-
is there a
but let
motion
me-
to,
Well, before you do that, so the compromise that we discussed
Yep.
here with
Yes, sir.
the manager,
Yes, sir.
I just made a slight change in this resolution. It'll say, a resolution of the Miami City Commission approving the continuation of professional service of Becker, Pollack, and Southern Strategy Group, along with
Yes, sir.
is Ruben, what's the official name of the
The
firm?
Rubin Group.
Along with the Rubin Group, as the City of Miami's only lobbying firms.
Yes, sir.
We've included.
I think there's
the
another
three
one,
of them.
no, which is Southern Strategy.
Southern Strategies, he mentioned it.
I said them. Yeah, I'll read it again. A resolution of the Miami City Commission approving the continuation of the professional service of Becker Polyak and Southern Strategy Group, along with the Rubin Group, as the City of Miami's only lobbying firms, until such time as a request for letters of interest, RFLI, or a similar proposal is finalized and brought before the City Commission for an award, further instructing the City Administration to draft such RFLI or similar proposal in a form acceptable to the City Attorney for the City Commission to have the opportunity to review, comment, and approve prior to its issuance, and it should be no later than the first week of the ending of the session, whenever that would be.
I would just add to that, including any special sessions, because there may be special sessions after session.
Well,
Just to be clear.
That's fine, you can
Yeah.
include this, end of the session or any special session,
Commissioner Gorge?
Sir,
That's
that's
fine?
very reasonable, thank you.
okay?
In selecting the lobbyists, we gotta make sure the legislation's changing federal and statewide, so we gotta make sure we have the right person.
Yeah.
Yep,
All right. Is that a motion with an amendment?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Gort, seconded by Commissioner Reyes with amendment. Any Discussion from the public on this item. Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Any further comments from the dais? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
One,
Motion passes.
one last, question to the, manager.
I'm sorry, we need to move this item,
Oh,
the last one. Can I get a deferral of DI2 to the next city commission meeting?